Hillary being the first, and Kamala being the latest, no concession speech, which is really not fair to your constituents. And not only did she not give a speech that night, but that she was almost a half hour late yesterday afternoon.
Well, and it was sort of kind of concession speech.
Yes.
It was one of those, I'm still right, and you stupid people didn't vote for me, but we'll carry on.
Yeah.
I bet that's the last we hear about her.
Yeah.
I think she'll fade away. Get some nice job maybe in Cal Berkeley or something like that.
Yeah. I think it's still, she made this comment yesterday too, and I have no idea what it means. She said, we're not afraid of hard work. She continues to repeat that.
She never worked hard.
Well, is she's saying,
Well, it depends what you describe.
well, it depends on her work. I mean, it probably wasn't easy. I mean, she was 60 years old at the time. But anyway, I just, she was talking about hard work. Is she trying to say that the people who voted for her are lazy
So
bums?
say good afternoon, like fucking 7
How would you like to be part of her VP staff for the remainder of her term?
Well, there's nothing that she goes through them like toilet paper.
That's what I mean.
I mean, apparently she's a very angry person.
Like a dose of salt through a goose.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. You're right, Jim. She's a very angry person.
Very, very angry. In fact, it's one of those things I think in note sometimes, and I think maybe it was Rush, they originally pointed this out when I was listening to Rush, that liberals are very angry people. They're pessimistic. No matter how bad it is, it will be worse.
Yeah.
And they're very pessimistic, angry people.
Interesting story coming out of New Braunfels. 20-year-old man there pleading guilty to firearms charges after the feds said he purchased a gun with the intent to carry out a mass shooting. Cameron Peterson pleading guilty in the Western District Court of Texas to one count of receiving a firearm with intent to commit a felony. Feds allege that he planned to carry out an attack on several unidentified
Dude, what are you
schools
doing?
at a gas station, which the Dallas Morning
Don't ride if
News
you can't fucking
identified
drive
as
it.
a Buc-ee's location on I-35. Now that would be, which one would that be, Harold? You know what all the Buc-ee's are.
I-35,
Yeah. Between Austin and San Antonio.
Buc-ee's.
yeah, that's kind of, no, but yeah, there's a new one.
Well, there's one in the Ennis area. That's
Yeah, that's at 45.
That's 45,
They
yeah.
got two on 45, Madison and Ennis.
Yeah.
There's one just north of, I was just going to say Hayes, maybe, is that your one? Well, and regardless of the location, Buc-ee's are always packed. So can you think of anything more deadly? And he said he went out with the Buc-ee's.
It's the opinion of the explosives and hazardous devices examiner that the partially assembled IED described in the report meets the elements of a destructive
Love y'all. Be good. Behave. Have a good one.
Specifically,
Fuck haters.
IED incorporates weaponization characteristics due to added fragmentation and the fact that the flammable gases in its design included the fact that he was getting ready to wipe out a bunch of people.
So this would have been a very deadly device.
Yeah,
I think it's that one hill. There's one Hillsborough now.
yeah.
Yeah, like,
He's expected to go before a judge late January, faces a max sentence of 10 years. That's it. 10 years and a $250,000 fine.
Oh, there
That's
you go.
it? He's going to kill a bunch of people and you get a 10-year sentence and a $250,000 fine?
I would never let him out again.
Hell no.
Again, you call the herd. He was going to kill a lot of folks. And what makes you think he won't do it in 10 years?
That's exactly right.
I think it's the Braunfels. There's one on 35.
Yeah, I see that too. Yeah.
Regardless of where it's at, it's still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the sports. And Cardinals with a big task Saturday in San Antonio.
Huge task. The Cardinals want to get back on the winning track. Cardinals want to have a chance to get the postseason winning conference. They've got to beat UIW on Saturday, and as Al mentioned, that's going to be a tough task, as those Cardinals are ranked number 8 in the country. For
Southland Conference. As for basketball last night, top 25 coaches bowl, no upsets, and some teams playing teams you never heard of. That's kind of norm this time of year. How about UConn? Raising another NCAA championship banner, their second in a row, as number 3. UConn beat Sacred Heart 92-56. 11th ranked Auburn beat the Catamounts to beat Vermont 94-43. 16th ranked Arkansas over Lincoln 76-60. Number 18 Indiana, the Hoosiers beat Southern Illinois Edwardsville 80-61, and 14th ranked Creighton in Omaha beat UT Rio Grande Valley 99-86. NFL's prime time Thursday night football game. Going to be an AFC North battle. The Ravens at Baltimore. Hope Justin Tucker and the Ravens kicks 12 field goals tonight. Coming up on Sunday, Eagles and the Cowboys, Lions and the Texans. News not good for Dak Prescott. Looks like he's going to be out for quite a while. A partial avulsion of his right hamstring, which means part of the tendon is pulled away from the bone. One of the most coveted free agents in Major League Baseball is recovering from surgery. Third baseman Alex Bregman underwent surgery to remove a bone chip from his right elbow. The Astro star became a free agent last Thursday after a 5-year, $100 million contract he signed with the team in 2019 expired. Top free agent of Major League Baseball, not expected to rush into making a decision, according to his agent. Scott Norris, superstar outfielder Juan Soto will take his time on who he wants to play for. And the Rockets won back-to-back games after silencing the Spurs 127-100 over at the Toyota Center last night.
That is all for morning sports. News Talk Radio KLVI. Need to take a break, taking your birthdays and KLVI Messenger, Facebook Messenger. If you've got a birthday today, the 7th day of November, Overhead Door Company, been around since 1951. I often think about what I was doing in 1951, and those of you that are even old enough to think about that, remind yourself that you didn't have very many cars that had automatic transmissions. I think Chrysler had what they call a fluid drive at the time, and Ford had just come out with the Ford-O-Matic. Overhead Door Company had just come out with the Overhead Door Company, and the Overhead Door Company of Beaumont was born right here in Beaumont 74 years ago. When there was no internet, there was no interstate, but there was an Overhead Door Company of Beaumont. The same family that got here is the same family that runs it. And I'm talking about the same family. People with the same last name still run it today. Now, we've added locations in addition to Beaumont. We've also put a location in Jasper, one in Dayton, one in Lake Charles, one in Nacogdoches. So anywhere within the sound of my voice, you can call 860-DOOR, 860-DOOR. We're going to come out. We're going to take care of your problems. Give you a free quote on a new door. Fix the one you got. We are good people, and we keep 20 trucks on the road every day to make sure that we take care of your business promptly. 860-DOOR. Hey, craving a burger for lunch or dinner? Daddy-O's Burgers in Beaumont, Bibb County, your premium place for gourmet burgers, fries, and shakes. Take it from me, Al Caldwell. Our mission is quality, top quality ingredients, Nolan Ryan beef, freshly baked buns, homemade sauces, our famous ranch, our zesty chipotle. Full menu at daddyosburgers.com. Daddy-O's Burgers, 4230 Culver, Beaumont, 8745 Memorial in Port Arthur, Congress. The best burger in town today.
Lowe's knows you want to get more value for the holiday. That's why as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals every week on holiday decor, tools, and more. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
When you see a price on a pre-owned vehicle at Twin City Motors, you won't pay 1 penny more when you get here. Hi, this is John Dretz at Twin City Motors. If you go to a dealership to buy a used vehicle and they add reconditioning fees or some other lame charges, you need to walk out and come to Twin City Motors, where the price you see is the price you pay. At Twin City Motors, you'll see the actual price on a high-quality pre-owned vehicle that's safe and clean, and it's been through a rigorous 160-point inspection. If slight reconditioning was required, it's already done. Vehicles that don't meet our strict standards are sold off to wholesalers. That's why Twin City Motors offers a 3-day or 300-mile return policy with every pre-owned vehicle we sell. At Twin City Motors, you're getting a great vehicle at a great price. That's Twin City Motors, Highway 69, just south of the airport.
Call 877-227-5582 for details.
Why don't you get your package goods while I get mine? At Deb's on Field or College, Messina's on Magnolia, Larry's on Lamoille and Port Arthur, on Muni's on Gulfway and Port Arthur. Hey, these folks been around for 50 years as a family operation. They're going to get what you need at the best price with the best service, whether it's craft beers or wines or bourbons or vodkas. Deb's, Messina's, Larry's, and Muni's. Good people, brothers, for 50 years. Go see them.
For more information on contests on this station, go to klvi.com/rules.
Yeah, it was straight up red light. You seen that car run like that.
AmericanStandard.com studios with News Talk 560 KLVI.
Missouri.
According to the Houston Chronicle,
It's a long ways from home.
Kamala Harris performed only 5.5 points better than Donald Trump and put in the worst performance of a Democrat since 2018. Yes, did not do well at all.
Looks like they have a good chance of the House. They will have the Senate. They have the House, the presidency, and the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court is the majority of the appointees. I was listening to a piece this morning, which I totally agree with. It would make Donald Trump the most powerful president since Franklin Roosevelt.
I've heard that.
There'd be no excuses. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta get done then.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any question that Roosevelt, of course, had the court.
Oh, yeah.
He had the two houses and was able to basically do whatever he wanted to do during his tenure.
And the Wall Street Journal this morning said that the House is a lock. They said the House is a lock. And the Senate, of course, they're up by 4 seats with another 4 uncontested. No, they're up by 8, I think.
They're in good shape.
Yeah, they're in great shape
Senate's
for Senate. But they could get the House, and you get the House, the Senate, and the presidency, you got a big stick.
I don't totally agree with the
Yeah,
Wall
you
Street
do.
Journal. It's a lock, but I think it's certainly headed that way.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen, which would,
Yeah.
again, give him power unparalleled in the last 7 years.
Back to the Houston thing for just a second. Collectively, it is the Democrats' worst performance since 2018 in the Houston area, which is one of the, if you take a look at the map of what took place and look at the Texas map in Houston, there's only one little section of Houston that really was blue. I mean, the rest of the state, to a good part, was red. And what's that area you were talking about? That's first time since Stark Kennedy.
That's remarkable, that record there.
Well, and in the Houston, in those urban areas, the Democrats underperformed, and that's
Yes.
not just Houston, but in the urban areas, they underperformed, and that caused, of course, some surprise. And they didn't expect to win the state, but they didn't expect that.
Yeah, very, very unusual. By the way, we mentioned earlier the Pillsbury Doughboy. He has been one of the longest-running commercials
Is that a little
since
giggle?
1965.
A little
Yeah, little giggle and everything, no doubt about it.
News Talk
Okay.
560 KLVI, Beaumont. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. President Biden will address the nation. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. In 3 hours, the day after he called President-elect Trump to go.
But after that, Harris got a huge bounce when she joined the ticket and had a glitzy convention, and now campaign staff are getting an email from their boss, Jen O'Malley Dillon, that says, I know the vice president isn't finished in this fight. That was the gist of the VP's remarks at Howard University yesterday. NBC News is reporting
The Harris team did not spend much time writing a concession. They thought her initial remarks were just going to be about keeping the faith during a days-long vote count.
Now, across the country, that's Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House, by the way. Across the country, Trump gained votes in several thousand counties from 4 years ago. In Philadelphia, where Harris did worse than hoped, the Democratic Party leader in the city, Bob Brady, blames her campaign, telling Fox,
The national campaign,
Straight up red light.
zero. They had no respect, they had no coordination. They didn't talk. I never even had a conversation with the lady.
Meanwhile, President-elect Trump is planning his next administration and cabinet. Senior advisor Jason Miller tells Fox
He knows many of the people that he wants to bring with him. And some of these issues can't wait until he gets sworn in. Obviously, we have what's happening at the southern border. There are different things that President Trump can do simply by being the president-elect.
the Trump nominees have an easier path to confirmation with a Republican-controlled Senate in the next Congress. The GOP has won 52 seats and leads in another race in Pennsylvania. A military commission judge has overruled Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin on the plea deals for 3 9/11 terror suspects, restoring those agreements that would have mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed avoid the death penalty. Frustrating Brett Eagleson, president of the group 9/11 Justice, he tells Fox.
Nobody has ever listened to what the families want in any regard to any of this.
Eagleson was a teenager when his father Bruce was one of the nearly 3,000 people murdered in the attacks. America's listening to Fox News.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at Fox Business Podcast.
Dude, you have to merge.
Or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
It is time to take the quiz.
5 days a week, it's 5 questions in less than 5 minutes. We ask people on the streets of New York City to play along. Let's see how you do.
Including the pre-Super Bowl era, what NFL franchise has won the most NFL championships? I'm going to say the Cowboys.
Yes, I would say the Packers.
How did you do? Exactly. These get tougher, so hang on.
Make sure you take the quiz every weekday at thequiz.fox. Thank you for taking the quiz.
President-elect Trump has been getting well wishes and congrats from leaders around the world, including an American adversary with strained relations.
Let's find the right way to get along, says China's President Xi Jinping. Congratulating President-elect Donald Trump, President Xi said the world expects the two powers to coexist peacefully. During his first term in the White House, President Trump imposed trade tariffs on China, and President Joe Biden kept them in place. Recently, Donald Trump threatened a steeper 60% tax on Chinese imports. The future of Taiwan and Beijing's military moves in the South China Sea have also strained U.S.-China relations. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Now the story of a controversial election winner. In Michigan, a town supervisor won back the job he quit over a sex scandal.
It wasn't just any victory, it was a landslide. Preliminary results in Michigan showed former Delta Township Supervisor Ken Fletcher won back his seat with nearly 89% of the votes. The Democrat resigned on September 3rd after being accused of engaging in sexually explicit conversations with a police officer posing as a 15-year-old boy on the dating app Grindr.
Wow.
Media reports that Fletcher's name was kept on the ballot due to state election law. He has until January 1st to decide if he will accept the position. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
Federal Reserve policymakers will gather again this morning, and later today, it's expected they'll announce another interest rate cut, a quarter point perhaps, after the 0.5% reduction back in September as inflation keeps moderating. On Wall Street, ahead of that, futures are rising the day after a big post-election rally. The Dow surged up more than 1,500 points. The Dow and the NASDAQ getting record highs. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
A district championship with playoff positioning on the line this coming Friday night when the Nederland Bulldogs travel to Montgomery to take on the Bears. Our season sponsors are Indorama Vision Fort Natchez and Natchez Federal Credit Union. Thank you to our game sponsors, Bradley Steel Law Firm, Excellent Health and Fitness, Garrett Dental, Coast Credit Union, Hot Works Nederland in Beaumont, Justice Tree and Crane Service, and the Natchez River Wheelhouse. It's Nederland at Montgomery, Friday night at 7 on News Talk 560 KLVR.
Elite Roofing Supply right here in Beaumont. Give us a call, 449-ROOF.
professional pressure washer company is hard. Signs on every corner or social media because everyone has a buddy who can do it. Well, Hydro Clean is here to help. With 32 years of experience, fully insured veteran-owned Hydro Clean Services is your one call to clean it all. Driveways, patios, sidewalks, pool decks, roofs, and of course, your home. Giving it that professional attention to detail and a 5-star A+ customer satisfaction rating. Call the professionals at Hydro Clean. 409-832-3411. 409-832-3411.
State officials say voter turnout in Texas for this week's presidential election fell short of 2020. At 7:06, good morning. I'm Jim Love with KDI News. Details after this.
I can guarantee you one thing, that Beaumont Carpet One is capable of, and that is surprises. Just when I think that they have, decided to settle down, Lynn and the gang out there come up with something new. And they are sprucing up for the holidays. Now, we're not just sprucing up. A lot of people just put a sign out and say, Merry Christmas, we're having a sale. No. We got a real deal going on here. Right now, in addition to everything else, on your residential carpet that you buy, you shop now, and you'll save hundreds and get free padding with your residential carpet and installation purchase. Oh, buy any hardwood floor and get a special rug in lots of sizes that are up to 25% off. You also get, and this is every day, the beautiful guarantee, which means you're going to be 100% satisfied. How do they do that? Very simple. They're a flooring store. That's it. Nothing else. You can go to big boxes and see 300 different types of things that you can buy. When you come see us, it's flooring. At Beaumont Carpet One, the one store for your perfect floor, East Texas 105 in Beaumont.
State officials say voter turnout in Texas for this week's presidential election fell short of the numbers for 2020. Nearly 19 million registered voters in Texas, more than ever before. Just over 11 million voted this time around for a turnout of 61%. It's about 6% below the turnout 4 years ago. Democrats particularly disappointed with the turnout in the state's previous blue urban areas. The margin of victory in those areas for Vice President Harris and Senate candidate Kamala were not as robust as the party had hoped. The Jasper County man has been sentenced to nearly 22 years in federal prison on drug and firearm violations. 44-year-old Larry Buckley was arrested in October of 2022 after an investigation linked him to a drug trafficking organization in Jasper, Lufkin, and Sabine Parish, Louisiana. Buckley was alleged to undercover officers. He pleaded guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 262 months yesterday. Two were jailed following the theft of Rams in a multi-county pursuit. Rams were moved from a truck at the Pettville truck stop yesterday morning. The Jefferson County deputy pulled the suspect's vehicle over just as it entered Chambers County. After the driver exited the vehicle, the passenger got behind the wheel and moved to Liberty County. Then changed into Highway 90 in Dayton. The driver was arrested following a brief pursuit. And Governor Greg Abbott has a better chance of passing a school reform bill after Republicans flipped 2 seats in the Texas House on Tuesday. The GOP won 2 districts in Corpus Christi and Uvalde were held by retiring Democrats. The Republicans did not lose a single seat in the state capitol, winning contested races in the Dallas suburbs and San Antonio. That means the GOP will have 87 of the 150 seats in the House when the legislature reconvenes in January. Abbott said on Tuesday he will have more than enough votes to pass a school voucher bill. KLBI News Time 7:10, and the KLBI weather is sports.
The sports is next. Yes,
I'm here.
Yes, indeed. Present and accounted for.
But you won't be Monday and Tuesday. I will not be with you.
And the reason is you got a long weekend, man, which begins Friday.
Yeah, Friday night, tomorrow night, District 858 Division 2 will play on the table over there in Montgomery. The Nederland Bulldogs and Montgomery Bears, both those teams, all the 4 teams in the district have made the playoffs. Just who's positioning where. And for the Bulldogs, a win, who's the top seed, get a home game. Loss to the number 4 seed. NFL football tonight. The Ravens are in Baltimore. Sunday, the Eagles at the Cowboys. Cowboys will be without Dak Prescott with that hamstring injury. It's a severe one. Part of the tendon has been pulled away from the bones. Cooper Rush will begin to start the next few games for Dallas. As for the Texans, they are in the spotlight Sunday night. They're at home against the Detroit Lions. Men's top 25 college basketball. These are teams from the coaches poll. Number 3, UConn beats Sacred Heart. 11th ranked Auburn over Vermont. 16th ranked Lipscomb. The rest 16th ranked Arkansas beat Lipscomb 76-60. Number 18 Indiana, the Hoosiers over SIU Edwardsville 80-61. And number 16 Creighton, the Blue Jays beat UT Rio Grande Valley 99-86. Rockets win last night. They get a game high from Jalen Green and Fred Van Vliet, 21 points each, as they beat the guys from San Antonio. First 127-100.
Okay, look at our morning sports. I was over at Deb's yesterday, and Gerald Patrizi, former guitar and bass man for Jake DeTorres's band back in the 60s. Of course, one of the owners over at Deb's, Messina's, Larry's, and Immuni's. We got 6 brothers that run 5 locations. Over in Port Arthur, there are 2. Immuni's, which is on Gulfway Drive. Larry's is on Memorial. And here in Beaumont, of course, we have 3. Messina's on Magnolia. Deb's has 2. One on College, one on Field. I picked up some Han, H-A-H-N, yesterday, along with some Liberty School. Those are 2 very popular wines, popularly priced, too. In a selection that numbers way over 300 different types of wines and craft beers and bourbons and brandies and vodkas and gins and